Jambo and welcome to lecture number 2 in a series of lectures on urban economics and management with a special focus on the cities of developing countries, especially Eastern Africa. My name is Joseph Lusuga Kironde. I hold a master's degree in urban studies and a PhD in land development. In lecture number 1, we saw the meaning and scope of urban economics. We defined urbanization, an urban area, and urban growth. We made a review of urban trends worldwide, and we highlighted the challenges experienced in rapidly growing cities of Africa and other developing countries. In this lecture number 2, we cover the historic aspects of urbanization, but our focus is mainly on the concept of economies of scale, both internal and external, as well as agglomeration economies, on which economic theory is based to explain urbanization and continued urban growth. Now, all urban areas have a history. A city may start as a meeting point of traders at a site with advantages, e.g. where routes meet, where there is a good harbor, a defendable site, where there is this or that natural attributes like water, maybe high ground. A city may start as a center of political or military power, and some cities have started as centers of religious activities, especially pilgrimage. So urban areas are like babies. They are conceived, they are born, they start small, and they grow big. And at one time, they could even become senile. Now, urban growth is realized in terms of population, when the population of an urban area increases, but in terms of social and economic activities, as well as the geographical development of the urban area. The sources of this growth include natural growth and also migration from the rural areas and from other countries, as well as external expansion on the existing urban area, but as well as the neighboring rural areas turning themselves into urban areas and therefore getting incorporated into an existing urban area. We can think of Dar es Salaam, for example. It started as a fishing and farming village called Mzizima, with nearby villages of Msasani, Kunduchi, and Mbwamaji. Now, in 1864, Zanzibar Sultan Majid bin Said established Dar es Salaam as his abode of peace. In 1890, the German administration made Dar es Salaam their headquarters in preference of Bagamoyo, and Dar es Salaam has grown since then on the basis of the good harbor which it has. So the population has grown from just 2,000 in 1887 to currently 6 million. And in terms of area, Dar es Salaam now covers an area of 1,850 square kilometers and is 100 kilometers from the northern boundary of Mpiji to the southern boundary of Mbezi. We can see the same trend if we go to Nairobi. Nairobi started in 1899 as a site for Uganda Railway headquarters. Prior to that, it was just a swamp with very little use. But in 1907, it was made the capital, a municipality in 1919, and the population has grown from 5,000 in 2002 to 4 million right now in an area of almost 700 square kilometers. We can look at Kampala as well, which started in 1890 as a site for the headquarters of the Imperial East African Company, and it has grown from a very small area now to cover almost 200 square meters, the city proper. This growth is accounted for by economies of scale, according to the economists. Economies of scale are advantages. You are reducing the costs, both in terms of unit of producing a good or service as you expand your size. For example, if you have one student and one teacher, the unit cost of teaching will be high. But if the number of students increase, you don't have to double the number of teachers, then the unit cost comes down. Likewise, if somebody is building a house, a small builder, building just one, he buys goods at a very high price. But a large builder will buy goods at a lower price and therefore offer a lower houses at a lower price. There are internal economies of scale, internal to the firm, internal to an industry, external to the activities, and actually external to all actors in an economic setting. And those are what are called agglomeration economies or urbanization economies. The list of these economies is quite long, but a number, we can mention something like 12 of them. One of the economies, the potential side of the local market. It is not that the market is there, but it is potentially there, and that attracts activities. But also, many urban areas have got large local markets for a lot of things. So you do this, and you do this, and somebody does that, and somebody does that. So all of you are kind of market to each other, offering markets and economies to one another. There are things that you need a threshold population to provide. Electricity, for example, the unit cost of electricity would be huge if the population is small. But if it's big, the unit cost is down. Public transport needs a minimum population. The geographical concentration provides complementarity, so that people who are doing this also are complemented by people who are doing something else. Then we have skilled labor, which is more specialized in urban areas. Managerial and entrepreneurial talents are more developed in large urban areas. Financial, commercial, and IT facilities are much more developed in large urban areas. And the key social facilities like quality schools, health facilities, recreation, and spiritual establishments, you find them much more abundant in urban areas. The possibilities of greater face-to-face contacts with decision makers makes urban areas a bonus. You can do more, you can network more when you're in an urban area than if you're in a rural area. And there is a greater incentive to innovate as a result of competition, flow of information, feedback from customers, better communication, and better education facilities. So the gross outcome of all this is that urban areas attract more activities, they attract more people, they attract, therefore they continue making more markets. So it's like a vicious circle. The more that you have, the more the advantage you get. Of course, there comes a point that you start suffering from these economies, things like congestion, high level of pollution, poor housing, and so on. Now, the challenge, therefore, is like we saw last time, urbanization cannot be reversed. The challenge for public authorities is to minimize these diseconomies of scale to bring about the benefits of urbanization. Thank you very much for listening. If you like this lecture, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and we value your feedback. See you next time.